A pleasant day, everyone. A pleasant day, fellow economists. I know we're all very glad and excited for this 72nd National Conference and Trainings of Philippine Home Economics Association, or PHEA. So let us all enjoy this event virtually. I remember that during the school year 2013-2014, there was a big adjustment happening to our school, particularly in my department, the TLE department. That was the first time that the K-12 curriculum was implemented. The subjects we are handling were changed. I am somewhat sad when that happened because the subject area that was assigned to me was removed from the junior high school curriculum. But it is understood that teachers are flexible, always ready to embrace whatever changes, challenges that may exist for the betterment of our learners. Several meetings, seminars, activities were conducted to further introduce the K-12 curriculum. Then I found out that there is one topic in all the subject areas that need to be discussed. And guess what is it? Yes, an entrepreneurship. It implies that DepEd wants to instill to learners the importance of entrepreneurial activities. So when I started working on my thesis, that is the first topic that comes into my mind. And I came up with this title. Effects of Entrepreneurship and Technology and Livelihood Education, an input to a proposed Faculty Enhancement Program. Technology and livelihood education is subjects which helps the learner to develop their knowledge and technical skills, proper values, attitudes towards work that will prepare them in their future endeavor. I noticed that teachers in technology and livelihood education lack opportunities to enhance their knowledge in the field of specialization. They are not fully equipped with enough skills and expertise in the subject matter, particularly with entrepreneurship competency in TLE. I decided to conduct this study to investigate and help inform the school administrator on how the entrepreneurship competency affects the teachers in TLE. The main concern of this study is to determine if the effects of entrepreneurship competency and technology and livelihood education can be an input towards a proposed faculty enhancement program. Technology and livelihood education, or TLE, is a learning area integrated in the Philippine Secondary School curriculum. Its component areas are home economics, agricultural arts, industrial arts, and entrepreneurship. However, TLE is required to include practical work experiences in the community which may extend beyond its specified school hours. Students will be taught things like home education, sewing, cooking, beauty care, computer skills, etc. Always enhance skills for self-employment, thus providing them pathways for further learning and training in their chosen career. The practical and relevant course offerings will provide students with opportunities to become economically productive, even if they decide to leave the formal school system. Foremost of this subject is entrepreneurship, which provides the students the practical and necessary skills in the world of work, which they may embark for their self-employment and financial survival. Let me share to you the outline of my thesis. Again, it's entitled Effects of Entrepreneurship in Technology and Livelihood Education, an input to a proposed Faculty Enhancement Program. Researcher, yours truly, PRISCILLA RAMIREZ-LIMIN. My advisor, Dr. Maria Erlinda Zacarias. My school, Philippine Women's University. Introduction. Everyone aspires to be successfully and financially independent. Being an entrepreneur is one way to achieve that goal. Entrepreneurship is a complex concept which many scholars in the field of economy, sociology, psychology, and sciences have tried to define. Despite all efforts, no consensus have been reached regarding the definition of entrepreneurship. However, many scholars agree that the field of entrepreneurship positively influences a country's economy. By the way, the word entrepreneurship or entrepreneur came from a French word entreprendre, which means enterprise. Entrepreneurship is a necessary ingredient for stimulating economic growth. It plays an important role in economic prosperity and social stability in many developed countries. It provides the students the practical and necessary skills in the world of work, which may embark for their self-employment and financial survival. Theoretical framework. The theoretical work in the discovery theory has focused on the existence, discovery, exploitation of the opportunities, and influence of individuals. It is also called the individual opportunity nexus view. This theory suggests that opportunities are objective, individuals are unique, and that entrepreneurs are risk-bearing. Shane and Venkataramann, 2000, Shane 2003. It means that understanding entrepreneurial opportunity is important because its characteristics influence the creation of opportunities. Second, individuals in this view are alert to existing opportunities. Entrepreneurial alertness is an attitude of receptiveness to available opportunities in the market. It is also a constant scanning of environment by an entrepreneur who notices market imperfections. The third assumption of this theory is that entrepreneurial process is risk-bearing. Shane 2002. Conceptual framework. The first box, Entrepreneurship Competency of TLE Teachers. Second box, the TLE Development Program. The third box, Heightened Commitment of TLE Teachers on Teaching Entrepreneurship. The researchers' understanding of theoretical framework and insights gained led to the development of this conceptual framework. In order for the educators to teach effectively, they should understand the three levels of knowledge such as facts, basic ideas and principles, and concepts. Incorporating this in teaching technology and livelihood education, TLE will be able to develop entrepreneurship competencies which are the underlying characteristics of a person that result in effective action and superior performance in the job. Having a correct attitude of TLE teachers towards entrepreneurship would lead them to a better performance in school. Objectives of the study. The main concern of the study is to determine the effects of entrepreneurship, competency, and technology and livelihood education at secondary schools in Tangue District, Division of Caloocan. That can be an input to a proposed Faculty Enhancement Program in TLE instruction. Methodology. Research design. Descriptive method was used in this study, which involves the description, recording, analysis, interpretation of conditions that now exist. Descriptive research design is a scientific method which involves collecting, observing, and describing the behavior of subject without changing the environment. Martyn Shuttleworth, 2008. Respondents of the study. The respondents of the study were 30 TLE teachers teaching in grade 10 students, school year 2014-2015. 12 from Bagong Barrio National High School Main, 3 were from Bagong Barrio High School Annex, 9 from Balisa High School, and 6 from Talipapa High School. Their ages range from 31 to 60 years old. Sampling technique. The researcher utilized 30 TLE teachers at 4 secondary schools in Tangue District, Division of Caloocan, which are classified as the subject of the study. The researcher used probability sampling scheme wherein every unit in the population has a chance greater than 0 of being selected in the sample, and this probability can be accurately determined. Particularly, simple random sampling was utilized by the researchers because the population is small, homogeneous, and readily available. Research instrument and techniques. A structured questionnaire was developed as a mode of data collection. It was comprised of 3 sections of parts. Section 1 was the teacher's demographic profile. Section 2 was the level of entrepreneurship competencies, which were broken down into 4 components such as personal effectiveness competency, behavioral competency, workplace competency, and industry-wide competency. Section 3 was the effects of entrepreneurship, competency in technology and livelihood education, TLE, to the attitude of respondents, which were broken down into 3 clusters. These are achievement cluster, planning cluster, and power cluster. Validity and reliability of the instrument. The researcher used a questionnaire which was validated through the advisor. The researcher floats the instrument to 15 TLE teachers to check its validity and reliability. Additional 15 participants were selected to answer the questionnaire to complete its target sample. The results were subjected to a statistical treatment using percentage and weighted mean. Data gathering procedure. A letter requesting for permission to conduct the study was given to the Superintendent of the Division of City Schools, Caloocan, through the District Supervisor, PHEA. After granting the permit by the Division Superintendent, the researcher administered and retrieved the survey questionnaire personally. Statistical treatment of data. The researcher used the following statistical tool to further analyze and interpret the data gathered. Frequency and percent was applied in treating the data on the profile of the participants in terms of age, gender, position, length of service, subject taught, area of specialization, and seminars or trainings attended by the participants. The weighted mean was used to collate the responses of the respondents. The responses were categorized into 5 and were given a corresponding weight. The weights were multiplied by the number of replies in each category and were added to divided from the sum of the product. Ethical considerations. The researcher considered any ethical issues affecting the participants. All the pertinent information regarding the subject was treated with confidentiality. Authors and sources in the related literature and studies were carefully cited. Most importantly, the data presented were derived from the actual results of the survey conducted by the researcher. Conclusions. Based on the finding, the researchers arrived at the following conclusion. 1. Majority of the respondents were female. Age range of 31 to 40 years old. Most were in the lowest rank position. Most were well experienced in teaching the subject matter. Most were specialists in cookery. Most were attended seminars and trainings which tackled teaching strategy. 2. The level of entrepreneurship competencies in teaching technology and livelihood education. At Tangue districts, which were divided into 4 components such as personal effectiveness competency, behavioral competency, workplace competency, and industry-wide competency, has a vital role in teaching entrepreneurship in technology and livelihood education. 3. Having the right attitude towards entrepreneurship means that the participants are aware of their commitment to teach and share their knowledge in entrepreneurship efficiently. They set goals, plans, and monitors to effectively execute every task given to them. 4. The computed person R value was 83, which means that the profile of the respondents in terms of age and their level of entrepreneurship competency was very strong. Negative correlation. It showed that as one variable increases in value, the second variable decreases in value. This is called a negative correlation. It shows that as one variable increases in value, the second variable decreases in value. This is called a negative correlation. The researcher concluded that when an age of respondents increases, our first variable, the level of entrepreneurship competency, our second variable decreases. However, entrepreneurship competency of the respondents was not directly influenced by their age. 5. A proposed Faculty Enhancement Program was developed to help the teachers equipped with enough knowledge, trainings, and seminars that will improve entrepreneurship in technology and livelihood education in 4 secondary schools at Tangue District, Caloocan City. Recommendations. The following proposal and suggestions were derived. 1. Students should become more open-minded to business because they will enhance their financial stability. 2. The TLE teachers will have provisions for a more meaningful seminars, trainings, and workshops to improve their teaching ability and entrepreneurship competencies, which will help the students fully understand the importance of learning entrepreneurship. It is recommended that teacher must include more challenging and interesting activities involving TLE and entrepreneurship. 3. Principals and school administrators should initiate in-house seminars, workshops, and trainings for the teachers in TLE, especially in entrepreneurship, to help them become confident in their chosen field. Through this, the school community will be able to produce well-rounded and financially wise students even in junior high school. Fourth, the last but not the least, parents should become supportive with the needs of their students because studying entrepreneurship will, in a way, make their child more enterprising. Yeah? Before I will end my talk today, I would like to share to you the following quote. The wonder of teaching is watching caterpillars become butterflies. Thank you, and God bless us all.